Okay, everybody, dream team. All right, so we're going to go over a lot tonight. So if you're watching this recording tomorrow or any time, make sure you get a piece of paper down, get a pen, because there's going to be some notes. But the very first thing that we want to do tonight is I want to step back a little bit, and I'm going to share with you guys what Deanna and I have, what we did when we first started, because we were talking, and the funny thing is, a lot of this group, I think, a lot of coaching over the past like year and a half. Can you move that? Will you move that forward? Because it's so dark because it's so backlit. Thank you. A lot of we've done so far in the past, or in like the past year, better. Thanks. Has gotten really kind of overcomplicated, and so we were thinking like, what did we do when we first started? Like, we weren't doing half the stuff that we're doing now. And we were still successful at the level that we needed to be to start really kind of like, getting some progress in the business and start growing it. So we're kind of stepping back and starting over and saying, okay, let's break this down to the fundamentals and let's not overcomplicate this, which is what we've always been told not to do. Don't overcomplicate it because it doesn't need to be. And let's simplify this. So I started thinking, well, what do people want to achieve as their first kind of real goal, their first kind of step forward in the business? Of course, there's Emerald. And then after that, what really starts to kind of change things is when people kind of advance to Diamond. So I wanted to break down what Diamond is. And again, just the explanation of Diamond gets complicated, right? But it doesn't have to be. So I said in the team page to have all you guys, everybody bring their Diamond sheet to this call. And the reason I want to do this is because I'm going to actually share screens now. I want to first, does anybody raise your hand if you are unaware or confused as to what Diamond means or is? Raise your hand. There's nothing wrong with that. There's probably some people in here that are like, I don't know what Diamond is. What the heck is it? That's fine. So raise your hand. Does anybody here have a concern or confused? Okay. So everybody gets it. So let me just, in case there's somebody else out there, I'm going to share my screen here, but hold on. Share screen and desktop, share screen. Okay. And we're going to go to right here. So guys, this is obviously the Diamond tracker, right? Now, the reason I want you guys to fill this out is because I want people to have a visual. It's one thing to say, I want to become Diamond. It's another thing to have a visual in your mind of where are you right now? What's going on? What do you need? Let's reverse engineer this. Let's break this down. Because here, if you really look at this closely, okay, what you're going to see is Diamond is not as complicated as people want it to be, whereas we make it sound to be. Really, what do we do as coaches? We connect with people. We start relationships with people. Right? Then we invite them to join us in what we know is already working for us, right? Because we have a belief in the product. We'll go through all of this stuff here in a second. But we have a belief in what we're using and why it's functioning and how it's working. So we invite people to join us in our groups. And then we help them with the challenge pack, right? Because we know that those are the people that get the best results. When we do that, the way that Deanna and I did this was we just made sure that everybody enjoyed the same discount that we enjoyed. So we immediately set everybody up as what we call a discount coach. It has nothing to do with them working the business or anything. It just means I don't want you paying full price for this next month. That's what we did. All of these spaces here are just discount coaches, right? Now, the first thing you do, obviously, when you sign up, if you're looking at this as long-term business, is you set up your spouse, right, or one of your family members in this first space, right? That's the first person you sign up. That's the first thing that Deanna and I did. We signed Deanna up, then we signed me up, right? The reason we did this, and there's a lot of explanations for it, but part of the reason is because this is a vital piece of the business down the road as you grow. This account allows you to maximize your earning potential with the amount of effort you're putting into the business. So this is massively important. In this little chart here for your Diamond, that just means that this is easier because now if you have your husband or your spouse here, right? And then you sign up one person that wants a discount. Another person that wants a discount, another person that wants a discount, another person, right? Another person, all these blue spots are just another person that wants the discount. And then two other people under your husband's account that wants a discount. That right there, you just do that. That's just discount coaches. That nobody that wants to work the business, doesn't need to be. And then you only have to help one person over here that actually wants to work the business become an Emerald, which was what you did when you signed up your spouse and one other person. You've done that multiple times, right? Because you've got two coaches here. That's Emerald, 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 right? All these are Emerald. So you've done it multiple times by this time. You help one other person create Emerald and you're a Diamond. It literally is that simple. So if you count out these spots, well, this is your spouse. So that's not somebody that you necessarily helped, right? I mean, you did, but that's your own account, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's 9 people that you help with the challenge pack, and then you help one person achieve emerald, and that makes a diamond. So people over-explain it and overcomplicate it, and it doesn't need to be that difficult. That's really what I want to get across. If we focus on just helping people and plug them into our challenge groups, we're going to fill these spots in. That's what Deanna and I did multiple times to create multiple diamonds in different accounts. This is all we did. We just helped people get the discount and plug them in. So I wanted to make sure that everybody has a visual of this up front so that we can see not only what it looks like, but also what your guys' individually looks like, right? So you can understand what you're like, fill it in backwards and there we go, fill it in backwards and reverse engineer it, because it doesn't need to be as difficult as it sounds. Well, we'll talk in a second about how we find that one person that wants to do what we want to do, right? We'll get into that in a second, but I want to step back a second and say, well, now we recognize, okay, we need to get to a place where we're helping a certain amount of people. Well, how do we do that? Because this is what it all breaks down to. That is why this particular group, which is some people are brand new, have never coached before, and some people have been in this business, you know, as a coach for years on end, right? That's why this group is so simple. Like, that's why we're going through the basics, because Deanna and I have made this mistake as well. We've gotten away from the basic stuff, and we found that, you know what? We did just as well when we focused on the basics, and we just had less fluff crap work to do. We need to focus on the simple stuff, and that's what we want to get back to. So that's why I'm breaking this down. So like Jen, Jessica, you know, Francine, like you guys have been like, yeah, I've been through this before. So have I. I get it, right? But we need to refocus on it, because this is where the true success came from. And the minute we started veering away from this, what I found over the past 3 years, the minute we started veering away from this simplicity is when everything started getting like, wait a minute. And that's when you started getting pushback. We started getting pushback about what was going on and how people were looking at being successful. So we're going to make this a lot easier. So what are the things that we need to do every single day to actively work our business? Like really the things that actually grow our business and help more people, okay? The things that we absolutely, without question, have to do. First off is, oh, sorry, let me go back here. Is we need to, number one, work on ourselves. So what does that mean? Guys, we have to pick a program and stick with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys some action steps right now. I want to put us a date for us first, okay? So our date is going to be November 10th. So I want everybody to write November 10 down on, and let me see what day of the week that is. So hold on, I might change that. Let me look at it real quick. So September, okay, that's October, November. November 10 is a Friday. Okay, that's perfect. So it's the end of that week. So by November 10, what we want to do is we want to start working backwards. So we're going to say, everybody here is going to be diamond by November 10. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to help the people that need to be helped to fill in your little chart, okay? The way we're going to do that is first we're going to start by choosing a program. So we need to select a program today so we can get through it, because that's not a 12-week time span, right? So we need to start a program literally, and I know some of us are already in a program. That's great. If you've been committed to that particular program, you're going all in on it, great. But if you're not, we need to step back and literally select one and go, what am I going to start this week? I'm going to get ready for it, and Monday that's going to be my game. This is what I'm going to get in on, right? Ideally, it would be something that fits your goals, but something that maybe you haven't done before, right? That would be amazing, because it's something that you can get a little bit of new insight to and get one of the things that Deanna and I think the reason, and a lot of new coaches when they first start, the reason they have success right out of the gate, a lot of the ones that do, is because they're excited about what they're doing, right? They're excited about what's going on because it's something a little bit different. That excitement speaks volumes to other people, gets them excited. If you're just repeating the same program over and over and over, I can guarantee you that the level of excitement that you had for that program now is not the same level of excitement that you had when that program first came out. It just, we get like, think about Shift Shop. Oh my, the first week or 2 weeks of Shift Shop was out of control because there had been so much anticipation built up, right? It was something different than we've done before. Oh my gosh, everyone's freaking out. That's the momentum that we need to create for ourselves, because that bleeds through us and lands on the people that we're engaging with, right? So we need to find a program that's going to make sense. Now, the other aspect to doing something different is learning about the program, which we're going to talk more about, but learning about the tools that we have to offer. And I'll talk more about that, like I said, in a second, but I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm embarrassed to say that I was talking to Jessica Vanderberg not too long ago about this particular instance, and she brought something to light that I'm going to share with you guys in a second. but I was like, I'm embarrassed to say that my product knowledge as a whole and everything that Beachbody has to offer is so minimum. And when we kind of started talking about why that's a detriment to all of us, it was embarrassing to me that I was like, yeah, why am I not taking this more seriously? Because I thought I was taking this seriously, and clearly I'm not taking it as seriously as I need to. So we'll talk about that in a second, but that's part of it, is just getting a deep, intimate knowledge of what we have to help people so that we can truly help people on every level, so that we have an understanding of when they have this problem or this concern or this pain point and they want these results. Oh my gosh, I did P90X3, and holy, you want to talk about athleticism, right? Or just capability? Whoa, it's amazing. You're going to love it, right? It's a little deeper when you've gone through that transformation than when you just watched a video on it. So we need to pick a program, absolutely. But part of that also, it creates amount of confidence in ourselves to get through it, to stick through something. It gives us post options, right? Like truly following something allows us to share our story, right? More than just sharing that we work out, sharing our transformation, even if it's, sometimes that transformation looks like nothing. That's fine. It's a mental transformation. Sometimes it looks like nothing, and it's the transformation of, I did the workouts, but I didn't follow the nutrition plan. And this is what happened, right? There's always a story to share within each new product that we're doing, or each workout that we're doing, or each new workout, or each old workout, whatever it is, we're redoing it. There's always a story to share, but having a new story to share, something different, is inspiring to people, and it's inspiring to ourselves. So that's part of the reason that I'm talking about that. Let's see. Also, so this is what I was talking to Jessie about, and this is where, she was like, what the question she posed was, what do you do as far as like what products are you using? What do you have knowledge on? And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I drink Shakeology. We have let's see, Recover. We have Energize. I've done the pre-work or the post-workout after, before you go to bed, Recharge. Tried a couple of the boosts, right? I tried them all, and she's like, you need to be trying other stuff to see how it affects you. And I was like, I don't know about that. And here's how she explained it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. That's kind of embarrassing. So, and I totally know that I am guilty of this, and other people are too. One of the mistakes that I think that we've made, and I think that we've let you guys down on, Deanna and I know I have, let you guys down on when we're talking about what we do as coaches, is we lead heavy with the challenge pack. And the reason that we lead heavy with the challenge pack, it's not by accident. The reason we lead heavy with it is because I know from all the groups that we've ran, I know that the people that plug in, follow the nutrition plan, do the workouts, plug into the group, drink Shakeology, those people get the best results, hands down. There's just no comparison. It just is every single time. So the first thing that my mind goes to is, how do I get this person the best results I can get them? Well, I know that if they do this thing together, that's going to get them the best results. Here's where this is failing us. We do need to lead with that, because at the end of the day, it's the best benefit for them long-term in terms of results. It's the best deal for them from a financial standpoint. It just makes the most sense all around. But where we fail in this is we've put so much emphasis on this that we're missing an entire aspect of helping people. And here's what happens. When we're going through the conversation of talking to people, and they get to a place where they all of a sudden have an objection that I'm allergic to Shakeology, something in Shakeology, I tried it once, I can't do it. Or I'm in CrossFit, I don't need to work out or whatever. Or I'm doing something else, right? We get to that place, and there's these walls that we hit. And as a coach, we actually sit back, and I am totally guilty of this. I'm like, oh, well, I clearly must not be able to really help you on that level right now. So the conversation kind of dies, or I don't really look at another option, right? And that's such a fail, because yes, like I said, that challenge pack is always going to be the best option, but it's not the only option. And if we're really looking at this from a perspective of changing people's lives, we need to, and we used to say this, and I don't know how we got away from this, and I don't think we meant to get away from it. I don't know where it got lost in the verbiage or what happened, but we came to a place where we stopped saying the whole idea of meet people where they're at, right? Meet them where they're at and help them where they're at. We got into the idea of battling objections, which is important. But I think there was a place where it almost like went beyond battling objections and into a place of just push a challenge pack. And it didn't mean to go into that route, right? That wasn't the place that we wanted to end up. But my feeling is that's where it somehow resulted in, and that's not what we want to do. And so what Jessie and I were talking about, and which made perfect sense when she explained it, she goes, did you know? She goes, I have, a handful of these different products on order, right? And she goes, I use Energize. She goes, did you know that I did this? And she goes, I tested it. When I have my heart rate monitor on, I watch myself. She goes, when I drink Energize, 2 scoops, 15 minutes before I work out, she goes, do you know that I burn on average 100 more calories than I do if I didn't drink Energize? And I was like, no, that's really interesting. She goes, did you know that Focus, the Shakeology Boost, what's it called? The Focus one, Focus Energy one. She goes, do you know that I have a lot of people, because I use that and Tanya uses that on her kids that have on her kids that are like high activity. We use that to be able to get them to focus, and we give it to them, and it's changed completely their focus on things. She goes, do you know that the greens, when I add the greens in, she's like, my digestion is so much better, and I feel like I've got so much more energy when I do that. She goes, I've been using these and watching their reaction with me, right? And then recognizing it, like really kind of studying it, if you will, right? Using ourselves as a test. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed because I haven't been doing that, right? But then when I think about it, I was like, I am missing so many things then if my goal is to honestly change people's lives, I need to be focusing on everything, not just lasered in on the idea that I can help you with Shakeology and a challenge pack. What happens when somebody says I do CrossFit? Does that mean that nutrition can't help them? Right? You know how many CrossFitters don't have a nutrition plan or don't get how to deal with the paleo side of that? Or like they don't understand how to break down with the nutrition plans that they're given because they're super complex. I can't tell you how many I've talked to that do CrossFit that are like, yeah, when they show me the nutrition plan, it's like, I don't understand it at all. I'm like, I could make this so much easier for you. But I just think they do CrossFit, so they clearly wouldn't be able to benefit from what we have to offer, right? I miss all of that stuff. So part of what we do, I think, is we have to be able to meet everybody where they're at. Now, when I think back to the importance of this and why this makes a difference in achieving our goals, a few things. But one of them is, if we're focused on I'm just going to sell a challenge pack, I'm just going to connect to the challenge pack, we're not focused on that person and really what meeting their needs, right? Yeah, like I said, yes, we lead with that, but we still have to be able to meet them where they're at and give them the options that are there available to them. But aside from that, when I think back, do you know some of Deanna and my best coaches came from challenge groups? So we plugged them in that they never purchased anything from us. They just already had the program or something. We just met them where they were at, right? And plugged them in. And I think that's an important thing to have. There's the idea that, look, for me, myself, I'm testing a bunch of the different, I'm myself making the goal that, okay, each month I want to try something different so I can test it on me and see what I'm missing here, right? And for me, that says it's going to build my confidence in what I have to offer to other people, how I can best help them, and understand what I have to offer, right? But also, I'm going to focus on not just blinding myself on this is our option, and opening myself up to, okay, so yes, you can't drink Shakeology for some reason because you had a reaction. That doesn't mean I can't help you. What about, have you considered this, or what are there other options? Let's think outside the box. How can I really add value to your life here? Why am I so narrow focused in this one area? The only way I know that I can do that though confidently is if I actually know what I'm talking about, right? And my confidence is built from I need to know, what does Energize do for me? Like that's how I see it, right? So I think there's a lot of just kind of takeaway thought process to go there. When Jesse was talking to me about that, I was like, okay, I'm kind of embarrassed. That doesn't make perfect sense, and I'm not doing that. So just wanted to throw that out there just so you guys can understand that we need to be, obviously they always say products of the product, but there's a reason that we're products of the product. And there's a reason that we're on that journey specifically so that we have something to share and we know how to help people.
Remember what you were telling me the other day too, when we were talking about that sending out single samples of Shakeology and the kind of the debate about whether or not that's effective. Justin pointed out to me that you could send potentially to all of your new customers 1 serving of Energize. It's way cheaper. They're going to take it and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And that's just another thing, like he's saying, that might be something that they actually could jive with. They don't need a month on it to see how it works. But I was like, oh my God, that's so incredible.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up actually, because I forgot about that until you just said it. I forgot saying that tonight. But it's true. And the reason we were talking about that was because imagine every single one of your new customers. It's Shakeology is something, or like if you run a free group or something, right? Shakeology is something that I personally, and this is partly me, but I personally don't like to give away samples of Shakeology. And the reason being is because I was given one myself from one of the founding coaches in Team Beachbody, and I took about 4 sips of it and I threw it away, and I didn't touch Shakeology for like a year because there was no value built in it to me. He didn't build the value with me. We didn't have that conversation of why I was going to drink it. He just sent it to me. I tried it. I was already in my head about other stuff, about other shakes and stuff, and it didn't taste right to me for whatever reasons. I was like, I don't really care. I don't want it. I just didn't care. I couldn't be bothered by it. But if the value was there, it'd be a little bit different. Or if I had to actually buy it, I would actually drink it, you know? On the flip side, Energize is something that people go, hey, I drank this once. That is amazing. And it is a door to say, you think that's amazing. Wait till you try this, or wait till you check this out. None of this stuff was by accident. Sorry, hold on a second. Do you wanna? Yeah. Gianna, you can just say, you can talk, you can interrupt. It takes me longer to read than it is. I will write down.
I was going to say really quick too, Amy, I mean, you have a really great opportunity. I don't know. Have you tried Energize? No, not yet. I actually had a fit, they call them fit clubs, which is pretty much just a working out to the video, and inviting a bunch of people over. And I think we had about 17 people. And what I did is I just made, just actually put out the container and some water and some plastic cups and let people serve themselves, or you can make it yourself. And, you know, just to have people experience it. And just, you know, they could taste it and they could see how it made them feel and all this stuff. And so that would be fantastic to maybe offer that. Like, we'll try it yourself first to see how you like it, but then being able to maybe give somebody a half scoop in a little, you know, thing to see how they like it. And there were a lot of people that are like, this is really good. How do I get this? So,
and at the end of the day, guys, it's not about just trying to get, it's not about just trying to get a product in somebody's hand. I mean, like, or trying to get somebody to buy a product. It's about honestly meeting people. Like, we have to have, and I'll tell everybody this, and I don't care who you are, if you don't believe in Beachbody as a company and what they put in to the products that they create and what we have to offer, if you don't have a firm belief, you need to quit doing this now. Like, you seriously, you just need to back off and like, just don't be, because otherwise we're forced to sell stuff, and that's not what we do. The reason that I bleed so blue Beachbody and everything that they do is because I understand, because I've been in it long enough and seen everything. I understand the kind of mentality that goes behind what they're creating. And so I know damn well when I talk about Energize, you're not going to find a cleaner, healthier, better version of energy out there on the market anywhere. Hands down, not going to happen. Sorry, it just won't, because I trust the company that much, because I know what they put into it, right? And that's the kind of belief that I'm trying to get everybody to build in themselves. And that's what happens when you dial yourself into a program, or when, you know, we've all done the programs, we've all gotten results. That's why we're here. We're here because we already have a belief. I just want to broaden that belief a little bit more so people really understand everything that we have to offer. Actually, to give you kind of an analogy of this is why I think it's so important that we all, as professionals, as business owners, have an understanding of what we have to offer. I don't know if you guys ever gone through a remodel or whatever, but I have a friend that is a contractor, and she's an amazing contractor. But I'll tell you what I love about her. We have been through so many different contractors that when you talk to them about what you want to achieve, what you want to do, they just kind of give you a yes, no, that can't be done, this can't be done, that can be done, it's going to cost this much. And it's a very just kind of like, okay, inside the box thinking. What I love about her is when she comes into a place and you're like, well, this is what I'm kind of thinking. She goes, oh my gosh, okay, you know what? So you could do this, or you could do that, but you can't, I know you want this, but you can't afford this, right? I know that, like, you've been talking about this amazing, you know, wall that you want to do, but I know it's also out of the budget. You know what you could do though? You could take this, or you could do this, and you could actually put it over here and it would look just like that, give you the same feel, but you'd save a bunch of money. She's got so much knowledge of everything that she has to offer as a contractor, and she thinks outside the box. You can tell that her goal is to get you what you want and to better your life through it, right? That's what we need to be able to do, is to truly make our goal. The only way we can do this, though, is to understand, if I don't know how to build that wall, how am I going to tell you to build that wall? If I don't know the way to do it, how am I going to tell you to do it, right? That's the kind of point in that is it's infectious when you're around someone. It's like, oh my gosh, I know. Let me tell you this, like, yeah, Shakeology is wet. There's just absolutely no way it's going to happen ever. I totally hear you. Like, if that's a concern, I get it. You know what though? I know you were talking about losing 10 pounds, and I know you were talking about struggling with your nutrition. We can still get you into a program. It's less than the challenge pack, and let's meet you there and let's start getting you feel better, right? Let's get you in the group. Let's get you some support, right? Let's make that happen, right? And then we'll work from there. And then you plug them into the group, right? And then all of a sudden, when you plug them into the group and they're seeing everything, everybody else is kind of building that value in Shakeology. They start recognizing, okay, yeah, it's expensive, but it's worth it. And now if they're going to, that's when they decide to. And they're building the value instead of you. Do you guys understand why I feel like that's so important? Does that make sense? Okay. So to get back to the point here, one is we work on ourselves. Straightforward, right? Work on ourselves, follow the programs, do everything, all that stuff. Two is, we share online. Okay. This is really going to go through the what, why, and the how. What do we do? Why do we do it? How do we do it? Okay. First of all, sharing online, we all know why we share online, right? So that the reason we share online is to let people know, love, and trust us, right? Get people to actually know who we are. When we first start as coaches, so new coaches, when you first start as a coach, you're going through, you're inviting, you're talking to the people that you already have a relationship with, okay? So you're adding to your network every day. You're adding 3 to 5 people, and I'll show you a screen share how to do that in a second. But you're adding to those people, but you're having conversations with people that already have some relationship with you. They already know you in some way, right? They already have some sort of level of trust with you. So you don't have to broach that relationship build like you do with people that you've never met before. That comes from what we post online. If they don't see our face, if they don't hear what we're doing, if we're not talking about who we are, they're never going to get to know us, which means they're never going to trust us. That's why the whole idea of branded marketing, this phone is so amazing. That stuff doesn't work because people don't relate to this. They don't give a damn. They don't know you because of this product. They know you because you share with them who you are. That's when they start to trust you. Until they know you, they will not trust you. And until they trust you, you have no one to talk to. You have nobody to invite, because who would want to be in a group with somebody they don't trust, right? That's why it is vital that we share online what we're doing. Now, the Bob Heilig training we're going through right now has shared a couple things that I'm going to share with you guys specific to how we share online, what we do and what we don't do. And we're going to make this really simple. First of all, guys, when Dion and I started, it was shared 3 to 5 times a day, post a minimum of 3 to 5 times a day. Now there's something in Facebook. Instagram is the same. Instagram also, both of these have algorithms. They're different in each platform, okay? We'll talk about Facebook now. Facebook platform, the algorithm, which basically determines who sees when you post. You post something online, certain people are going to see it, okay? Now, the way the algorithm works, which constantly changes, but the way the algorithm is working right now with Facebook, if you're posting more than 1 to 2 times a day, you are competing against yourself in people's newsfeed, and people aren't seeing you as much, okay? So it is important that we post 1 to 2 times a day, no more than 1 to 2 times a day. We just need to make those posts extremely valuable, all right? Now, in the Diamond group, or in the Elite Push group that I had, I put in the file section, I put specific daily actions, what to do every single day, right? And in those daily actions were very specific posts. That stuff is not by accident. The reason that we have those posts in there is because it allows you to share you, but it also gives you a place to invite from. That's what makes it easy to start those conversations. So stick to that plan and utilize that. It'll allow us to talk about coaching enough, talk about stuff enough without overwhelming people with it, right? But also share who we are. So that's why the breadcrumbing posts about coaching are not a call to action. Join my team. This is just me, and this is my experience of what coaching has done for me. For some people, that's going to be it paid for my groceries this month. Disclaimer at the bottom, right? For some people, it's going to be the community is incredible. We all have a reason that we're here. Every single one of us has a reason to here. And I would encourage every single one of us to write down, why did you sign up as a coach? Like, what did you find value in Why did you find value in the workouts? Why did you find value in the nutrition plan? Where did it come from? Where did the value in Shakeology come from? Where did the value in being part of this community come from? I would write those valuable points down, figure out what you love about it, and use that as your breadcrumbing posts, right? Just start breadcrumbing those things, those individual parts. One day it's about community. Well, I'm going to talk about community. I would go through those different little things and kind of breadcrumb those in on the posts that are supposed to be about breadcrumbing posts. But nonetheless, all those are very, very, very specific. Okay, so one second, I'm gonna flip this over. Sorry guys. Okay, so the specifics to the posting that he was talking about today. Okay, there it is. So he has something called a 10 and 10 theory. Okay, I don't know, 10 and 10 approach. So a 10 and 10 basically means when you post something, now these are the things that we have to do, and I'm actually gonna share a screen with you. This is going a little bit deeper, guys, but this is where you're gonna wanna take notes. This is where it gets very interesting, and it works because I've done it. So the 10 minutes before you make a post or go live, and the 10 minutes after are exceptionally, Gianna, you're looking at me weird.
Oh, did you know I shared this in the group the other day?
Yeah, I know you shared it in the group, but I wanna make sure that everybody saw it, so I'm gonna go through. Yeah, you went through, but and I'm gonna go a little bit deeper because I'm gonna talk about stuff you didn't talk about yet. So the 10 minutes before and 10 minutes after, we need to be engaging with people through Facebook, right? So that we can get to see more people to see us, okay? So here's what he talked about actually in a live thing today that I think is brilliant. And it's a way that part of this whole thing is, guys, we need to be scheduling our time. Dion and I, when we think back to when we first started, we literally spent maybe 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes a day doing this stuff, okay? We were very consistent for that long time. We didn't spend what we spend today. And I was talking to Diana literally before this call going, we need to stop. Like, we're spending too much time and we're not being efficient with it. We need to trim the fat and get back to what's important. And that's what we're sharing with you guys right now is just the things that are important. But we need to schedule it. That's why in the files, I put that little activity tracker and the kind of power hour editable, the editable power hour thing, right? Which basically explains 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It really should be able to break down into those time frames. We shouldn't be spending more than an hour on this at the level before Diamond, right? Like at the level that we're all at right now, we don't need to be spending more than that time. So it can be efficient. So this is part of a way we can make this stuff efficient. If we're not posting 3 to 5 times a day now, guess what? We don't have to think, what the hell am I gonna post 3 to 5 times a day? We only have to think of 2 different posts. And those posts are already lined out for us. We just have to go a health and fitness post. Okay, I need to make one of those and a breadcrumbing post a day. That's all I got to do. What we want to do is just make sure that we put those maybe in the morning and maybe at night, and we just spend a few minutes beforehand engaging. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to show you the tips that he showed on how to. Does anybody raise your hand if you know how to create a list on Facebook? I didn't know how to do this until it's really easy, actually. Does anybody know? Okay, I'm going to show you guys. So check this out. What he says to do, and write this down, he said, create a list, 3 separate lists or 2. One of being the people that you would love to have your dream team, the people that you want to be on your team. That's one list. And then the next list is going to be coaches on your team that are working the business, right, that are actually active, and customers that you have in your current challenge group. This is what Dion and I are going to do with our challenge group. We're going to take so first of all, we're putting 3 people through a system now. Okay, we just talked about this. Sorry, Dan, I'm sharing this with everybody. I don't know that this is a go ahead, but that's what I'm doing. We're saying from now on, you get into one of our challenge groups, you get the first challenge group. And after that, you've got 3 options, sorry. First option is you go to one more challenge group that we run, or you go to our Never Give Up long-term accountability group, or you become a coach. Okay, those are the options. You get one more time of being in our challenge, in our monthly challenge group. You can do that twice, and then after that second time, you're either a coach or you're going into the Never Give Up group. The reason we want to do that is because it allows us to not have 80 people in a group, so we can really concentrate our focus on engaging and creating relationships with the smaller amount of people, the new challengers and the people that have only been in there once, right? Smaller amount of people, we can really engage with those people and start building that relationship more. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to take all of those people and we're going to take all those people and we're going to put all those challengers in one list, and we're going to have 3 lists. So we're going to have our coaches in another list. Okay, but if you're newer, you just have a list of people that you would love to work with, you want on your dream team, and you have people, your challengers right now, okay? Just 2 separate lists. You just take those names. And I'll show you what you guys do with them. And this is what's going to make all this a lot easier. Share screen again. And okay. So we're going to go to Facebook here. And okay, so what we can do is we'll go here. And I don't know, I haven't looked on how to do this on your phone yet, right? So I'm just going to go off of the laptop. So if you go down, let's see if I can find it here again. Okay, friends lists. There it is. Okay, see right here where it says friends lists? Okay, you can click on that. Okay, and then you can come up here and you can create a list. And then all you do is you name the list. So I put Dream Team, right? And then I just start typing in the names of the people and adding them to it. Okay, now they're not going to see that you're doing this, but you're just going to go through and do this, right? So I'm going to type in, you know, Jessica, and then maybe Diana, and then, you know, and we'll just do that as 2 for now because it's simple, right? And then we're going to create it. Now that list is created. So if I go over to friends lists again, and I click on that, right, it's going to be right up here at the top. It's going to show me, okay, my dream team. When I click on that, what's going to happen is only the news feed from those people is going to show up in here, right? Which I'm kind of surprised that you guys don't have stuff showing up in here right now. But so their posts are going to show in this area. They're the only posts that are going to show in this area. So here is why that is so important. What this allows us to do is really quickly, sorry, I need to, oh my gosh. Sorry guys, technically challenged, there it goes. Okay, so what that's gonna allow us to do is right before we make a big post, right, an important post, we can go to those real quick and just start interacting on those, comment on those posts real quick. Those are the people that we need to interact with, right? We don't have to like scroll our Facebook feed and wait and see if we see somebody or go through our friends list and pick each person out individually. We just create that list and then go through it and bam, engage real quick, spend 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes on one, go to the next, spend a few minutes on one, down that one, go to the next, and then you're done. And then after that post has been made, you engage for the next 10 minutes with everybody that's engaging on that post. You comment, you comment, you comment, you comment, you do all that stuff, right? And that alone is how you can maximize your efficiency on the time, right? And it allows more people, it allows more engagement with the people that you want to make sure that you're engaged with. So every time you have somebody, if you're scrolling through Facebook or something, or you're talking to somebody and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a person that I really love to have my team, right? Slam them into your dream team list. It also keeps a record in there for you to go back and look and go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this person. How did I forget about them? I need to reach out to them and see if they're, you know, maybe this is a better time for them, right? One of the things that Bob actually shared, he goes, there's never a wrong time, and we'll talk about this more in a second. There's never a wrong time, right? That's what he meaning that it's never going to be like, this is just, it's never for me. It's, everybody's got like a 12 o'clock. You got to think about it like a clock. And he says, everybody's got a 12 o'clock. You might invite them at 11:59. It's just not the right time right then. But everybody eventually gets to 12 o'clock at some point. So that's part of the reason that we have to post, because we've got to be consistent on our page, posting and interacting with everybody, so that when eventually they do hit 12 o'clock, you're the person that comes to their mind because they've seen it from you. You've been consistent. This is why being consistent for a long period of time, this is why that compounds so effectively in what we do. It's literally because it gives people a chance to come around and hit 12. And when they do that, then it's like, oh, okay, I see it, right? But it might take, you might reach out to them at, you know, at 1, you know, like, or at 1 o'clock or 15, you know what I mean? Like right after 12 o'clock, right? You might get to 1 minute later. 12:01? Yes, 12:01. Sorry, I cannot think. You might catch them at 12:01. It might take a while for them to get back to that midnight again, right? But eventually it happens for everybody. So that's why that's so important. That's one thing that he said. So also, as far as live goes, he said that there's not really much of a need to go live on a page more than a couple to 3 times a week. So about 2 to 3 times a week. So I would say if you're comfortable with it, live is going to get more engagement. Think about it this way. Facebook wants you to be engaged and on and engaged, right? Meaning they want you to be on their page and engaging in it, being social on it, right? So guess what? If you're going live, people are on that page longer than if they're on looking at just a photo. They're also on it longer as if they're just reading something really quick, right? A post. So the longer you can keep other people on Facebook, the more Facebook wants to show your stuff to more people. Make sense? Yeah. So we know that we need to work on ourselves. We know that we need to post online. We know that we need to, hold on a second, guys, sorry. Share online, and we know we need to invite, obviously. So the fact of the matter is, if we're not inviting, we're just not growing. It's just as simple as that. If we're not reaching out to people and inviting them to join us, this is where a lot of the questions, I'm sure, and I want to give you guys a second to ask questions too. This is where a lot of the questions are going to come from. But if we're not reaching out, guys, at the end of the day, the less amount of people that we ask, the less amount of yeses we're going to hear. We've got to get through no's to get to yes, right? And it's just going to take a lot of people before we eventually get those people that actually, yeah, I'm interested. What's going on, you know? So there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's the biggest thing, is we've got to get ourselves past the idea that we're so attached to the outcome of every single response or of every single conversation. We have to be attached to the process of what we're doing. So one of the things that he said about going through the basic principles of just inviting, he said, invitation is basically, guys, it's a gateway skill, right? We can get more successful in inviting people. Okay, we can build that because it's a skill. It truly is a skill. But if we do not get better at inviting, and if we do not hone that skill, we are going to be struggling and struggling and struggling at a business such as something what we're doing right now. Because a lot of it is building the relationships and then inviting people to join us, right? And do what we're doing. And that's a great thing. Gets back to why it's so important that we have a deep belief in what we're doing. Because if we don't have the deep belief in it, we're not going to want to invite to it because we have no belief in it, right? And then we're not going to have anybody say yes. So it's going to get back to all of those issues. That's why it's so important. So one of the things that we'll kind of go through a few of these things that he said. But first of all, he said, when you're inviting, he said, don't be a movie trailer. And I love this analogy. He said, when you watch a movie trailer, movie studios put millions of dollars into these really short little clips to get you to evoke a specific emotion in you so that you want to go see it. We don't have the ability to explain this stuff and create that same emotion. We just don't have it, right? Why should we even try? So what we do is we talk to somebody and we try to explain it all, and then we fail at explaining it all because we're not built to do it, because we don't have the skill set, right, necessary to do it. Even if we don't learn the skill set, it's just not there. We try to explain it, and then we struggle with it. So his whole point is, and what Deanna and I have done, you use that third-party tool, right? Always using that third-party tool. So for instance, like right now, when I'm inviting somebody to a coaching opportunity, I literally, and this is from his scripts and stuff that he's sharing and the way he's approaching it, I'll literally send him a message real quick and just say, hey, if it's somebody I know, flat out, hey, what does your schedule look like this week? Let's chat. Or actually it just goes, what does your schedule look like this week? ? Send. Right? And looking back, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what's going on. I've got something really interesting that I wanted to chat with you about. I was hoping, we could jump on the phone for a couple seconds or something, and if they, that's a guy, Robert, today, he's like, sure. And so he messaged, he calls me up. He's like, yeah, when do you want to talk? And he's like, oh, we figured out we'll talk right now. So I got on the phone. I was like, hey, I don't have a lot of time, and I know, you're pretty busy as well, but I just want to let you know I'm really excited about, what we're doing. And I know I've spoken to you in the past about coaching, and I don't know that it's for you, and that's fine. Maybe not right now, maybe later. But I am curious because I want very specific people, and I trust your opinion. Do you have any friends that you think this would be that would be able to benefit from doing what we do, or what I do? I think it would be amazing for them. And I was like, would you be cool if I send you a video that kind of explains it so you can get a better idea? Would you be cool with me, sending that to you? Take a quick look at it, and then just kind of pick your brain and see if you can think of anybody that might be interested in it, And he was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'd love to take a look at it. Then you just send the video, right? Like you're just keeping it very, 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 very short and kind of to the point. And his whole point is you just do lots of that in a day so that you're not so focused when people don't give you the answer you want to hear, right? But if you only invite 4 people a day, 3 people a day, 2 people a day, 1 person a day, and then you hear a no, well, you invited 5 people from Monday through Friday, and 1 person said no, 2 people said no, maybe 3 people said no, right? Or maybe all 5. All you've heard is no. It's like overwhelming. You feel like, oh my gosh, it's a failure. If I invited 3,000 people, which we're not going to do, but 3,000 people in that same time frame, you know what? I'd probably hear a handful of yeses to offset those no's. and I wouldn't be so attached. I've got so many conversations going on, I don't have time to worry about somebody saying no, because I got 17 other people that I'm talking to that might be saying yes, right? And that's part of the thing. We get so frustrated and so kind of beat down emotionally when we hear that. That's part of the reason personal development is so important. It's just a number game of asking and inviting more people in the long run. Now, I'm not saying guys go out and like at this level and invite 3,000 people. When I think back to what Deanna and I did, we invited like 4 to 5 people every single day, but we did it every single day consistently. And if you think about 4 to 5 people even every single day, and you're doing that 7 days a week, right? You're looking at, 30-ish people, give or take, right? 7 times 5 times 7, 35. So, but 4, okay. So give or take 30-ish people, not a mathematician. Right? And if that's 30 people a week, right out of the gate, and you're doing that every single week for the month, you're looking at 120 people in that month. You're going to hear some no's in there, but you're also going to have a lot of conversations going. And those conversations you're going to get some yeses too, right? And that's all that's going to matter. So you don't have to worry. But if you're only inviting one person a day or 2 people a day at most, you're only talking to 30, 40 people. Now we're starting to struggle with, okay, I'm hearing a lot of no's, and that's getting a little bit overwhelming. So this says, yeah, there's actually, he even said there's a law, and it says, let me go find it. The law of large numbers said literally, repeated actions over time will almost without exception produce the results we seek. Like literally, if you repeat it for a long enough time, enough times, consistently with enough people, you're gonna get the actions. Like this is a scientific law. This happens, it's not by accident. But if we only do it a couple times or every so often, then we're not gonna see the result of that. The key in invites, the less you say, the more you make. So that's a key thought process, right? It's not to say that you're not giving information. It's to say that you're not trying to dump a ton of information for no reason, just to blah everything that you have, right? So they need to stay very simple. Now I shared a lot of scripts in the Diamond group or the Elite group. So use those scripts, read through them, and kind of take a deeper look at how they go. But the key is just keep it simple, keep it short. Don't do what I used to do and regurgitate some 75-sentence message that nobody wants to read and people are lost on. Deanna has already given up on this call, and she has to listen to it. Imagine what she looks at when she sees a long message, right? Like she's already over it. Okay, so we know that we need to work out, work on our nutrition, right? We need to share online. There's a reason why. And we need to invite. These are literally, the reason I'm going over this, and I know this seems rudimentary. I know it feels like we're killing, like how many times can we talk about this? The reason I'm talking about this is because this is all it takes. If we focus here, this is what's going to end up in results. But we've gotten away from focusing on this, guys, and we don't focus on it. We focus on this a little bit and a lot of other stuff. So we really need to get back to just going, okay, I just need to know if I'm inviting people, if I'm talking to people, starting conversations, doing my workout, committing to a program, sharing it online, I'm going to see results. Then I just have to keep on doing it, right? I have to be consistent about it every single day. And if I'm not seeing results, then I have to ask myself, how many people am I actually talking to? Let's be real. Like we've got to be 100%. Am I actually having 5 conversations or 4 conversations every single day? Or am I talking to one person today, maybe 5 the next day, 0 the next day, a couple, right, on Friday? And it ends up being 1 person a day if you look at it over 7 days. Does that make sense? Like we've got to be understanding that that's all there really is to it. And if as long as we keep it simple, I work out, I share what I'm doing online, and I invite people. Of course, we've got to focus on personal development. Of course, we've got to add to our network so we've got more people to talk to. All that stuff is important. But without sharing online what we're doing and following our nutrition plan and inviting, none of the other stuff, you can add as many people to your network as you want. If you're not inviting, it doesn't matter. You can follow up, but if you don't have anybody to follow up with, it's because you haven't invited people, right? All the other things are necessary. They come from those specific actions. Those are the meat and potatoes of what we do. That's how we help people. We can't expect people to come to us. Right? We have to go and let them know that we can help them. It's just the way it works because people are nervous and scared. They don't know what to expect. Does anybody have any specific questions? Like, Gianna, what do you want to say? I feel like you're looking like you're either just out of your mind, bored, or you want to say something.
No, it's called I don't have makeup on, so I just always have this sleepy look about me. No, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, you're spot on that. I think that a lot of times we as coaches always want to overcomplicate things. And I'll be 100% like brutally honest. I've been a freaking hot mess this past like month, and, you know, stressed out beyond crazy. And it's all from me. It's all my own doing. It's not that the business got harder. It's because I'm making it harder. You know, and so it was a realization, kind of a slap in the face that I needed today, because I was just like ready to lose it. Like I was trying to cry because I was like so freaking frustrated, but I couldn't cry, which was even more frustrating. So I'm like, it's stuck inside. But I think we just overcomplicate it. So I just think if we get back to the basics, really caring about people, really being excited about what we're doing, what we get to do, the programs, like you said, picking a program and following it as if it's the first time, or maybe it is a program for the first time and you're sharing it authentically. The good days, the bad days. It doesn't have to look perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody wants to see perfect, because perfect isn't real, where they're like, oh, well, of course she's perfect. I'm not perfect, so I can't do that. You want to show your mess, you know, but always coming from a positive place, right? Like, you know, Amy, I know that you're battling some injuries, and so you're really limited in what you can do, but you still can show other women that, hey, you know what? I might be limited in this, but here's what I can do. Here's what I can focus on right now, which is going to be amazingly inspiring to other women going, okay, well, gosh, you know, I've got a shoulder injury too, or a neck injury, but she's doing it. So maybe I can focus more on my nutrition, and maybe I can do, you know, this or that, and really finding inspiration and just being on your own journey, and then just sharing who you are. I think a lot of times when we become coaches, we just want to be all health and fitness. And like for me, before I was a coach, I was no health and fitness. So, you know, you need to show who you are aside from that. You know, if you know, or dog mom, or you like wine, or you're sarcastic or whatever, let that part shine through. Because I think one thing I did in the beginning that I now get away from is I used to want to like be everybody's cup of tea. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted everybody to, you know, I wanted to help everybody. And now I realize I'm not going to help everybody. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people are going to find me extremely annoying, and that's fine, because I want to help the people that are like me. I want to help other moms like me that don't take themselves too seriously and aren't going to be 100% on nutrition, because that's just really not my focus. Like I want to be 80%. I want to have balance, you know, and I'm looking for other moms to help them find that balance. So just really finding that passion, and like you said, being consistent. It's got to be key. You know, it's got to be creating those relationships, building that network, and inviting and being on your own journey first, and personal development. So I guess that's what 5 things, but they're all super simple. I think we just get in our own heads too much. Jen doesn't know what I'm talking about by that at all. She never does that. So yeah, I mean, it's super simple. And guys, like we all, like, you know, we've been doing this 3 years, and there's still days I'm just like, like I forget like the coaching basics. And it's like every single time, then like I was telling Justin just today, I was writing down, because we have some UK coaches that, you know, I'm trying to help and support to do some of the basic steps. And I'm like, okay, well, what would they need to know? Okay, well, they really need to work on their own fitness journey. Okay, so I'll tell them that. And they really need to work on personal development, because it's all up here. Okay, I'm going to tell them to do that. And then, okay, they really need to like invite people. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wrote down the daily vital behaviors that we're told over and over again. Like I literally wrote them out like it was rocket science. And I'm like, okay, oh my gosh, that's already been given to me. And I'm trying to like make it harder than it is. I'm like, what a dork. So yeah, I think we just need to keep it simple. And like Tina, I remember she was wanting to go back and remembering the importance of really having a kick-ass challenge group, really pouring into people's lives, and really, you know, meeting them where they're at, like Justin said, but really just pouring into them, and not being about, okay, how can I fill the challenge group? But how can I get these ladies some phenomenal results, no matter what that is, or just being there, you know? And I think that makes a difference too, because that's building more relationships. And you get somebody kick-ass results, they can't help but share it with other people because they're so excited. So yeah, that's all I got.
Exactly. So in the last thing, oh, what's up? Well, and we're going to go through questions as well. So I said the last thing that we're talking about. So give me 1 second, Jen, and then we'll get right into the questions. The last thing I want to talk about is just tracking, because we've got to have a system of organization, guys, and there's a lot. And at some point, we'll go through, anybody that wants to, John and I are happy to go through. We actually use Google Streak, but we've got a larger organization that we're trying to deal with, right? So we've got a lot of things kind of in play that we've got to keep track of. So at most levels, you don't really need this. And I'll show you exactly how I used to track, what I used to do literally, and it works. But the key is just tracking, period, right? And sorry, this is on paper, of course, so I don't know how well you guys are going to see it. But I would literally put the date at the top, and then you see conversations, and I'd write down, my goal was to do 10, right? That day I didn't, and this is exactly what I'll explain in a second. That day I lost, right? Then I do invites. And at that point, I wanted to do 5 invites. And then I wanted to make sure that some of them were coach and some of them were challenge group invites. And then I would do follow-ups, okay? Literally, all I would do is I would go and I'd go, okay, conversations, and I would just find the people that I added as a friend. I would find new people that had accepted my friend request that I have not talked to yet, and I'd just start a conversation with them. And then I'd write their name down. Hey, and Amy, your name was on there. You didn't see that on there. Your name was actually on this as you were one of the conversations I started. See, that was in May that we were talking. See, look at that, look at that. Now, guys, look what happened. Look where Amy is. Oh boy. But you write it all down, and then I would go and go, okay, now I've got people that I invite. So what I can do is I can actually turn the page back a few days and go back, because the conversations, I don't care if they end or not. I'm not worried about trying to turn them into an invite right now. I'll go back a week or so and I'll look at who did I have a conversation with, and then I go back and I can send an invite to them and then write their name down, right? And then was I inviting them to the coach opportunity or challenge group? Write it down there. And then I would go, okay, follow-ups. I would go back the page a little bit. Okay, let's take a week back and look, who did I invite during this week? And let's see, did they respond to me? No, they didn't respond to me. Yes, they did. Okay, I'm going to follow up with this person that didn't. Oh, this person did. Okay, this is where they're at. And I just do like that. So even if you don't have another tracker, just pen and paper works. But guys, this was this year, and this literally this year. And do you notice the only things that I'm tracking here? The only things I track are conversations, and I didn't do this because of this call. I didn't even catch this until I'm going through this right now, talking to you guys as we speak. I just realized, yeah, the only thing I'm doing is conversations, invites, and follow-ups. Like, that's the only things that I'm tracking at all, because I know that if they're the only things that are important to actually build a business. So naturally, that's what my head goes to. Well, I have to have conversations. I've got to invite people, and I've got to follow up with people. So that's what I'm going to do. And those come from the posts and everything else. Does that kind of make sense, guys? Is it all seeming pretty simple, or is there anything like, Jen, you had a question. Let me throw this up there. Here, let me. Yeah, what's up?
This whole shift in posting has just kind of thrown me off. And so when I have been like faithful about posting every morning with my workout and not having it be so much just the standard sweaty selfie. I did this, but I've been trying to be really intentional to have it give some sort of a thought-provoking thought. And I may not have a lot of likes or comments on each one, but I know I get messages from people saying, I may not be interacting with that, but I'm seeing that every morning, and that's motivating me. So I'm having a hard time thinking that I'm just going to stop doing that every morning because it doesn't fit a certain pattern, or if it doesn't fit my 1 to 2 posts that I'm supposed to be doing every day. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, just makes perfect sense.
I'm having a hard time thinking that I'm just going to stop doing that because it doesn't fit with the current theme or motive or whatever.
No, absolutely. Actually, that was something that Bob went live today, and that was one of the questions. That was one of the things he addressed, is because he was having people saying, you know, like, hey, look, I'm doing this and it's working. And so his thought process is, if what you're doing is working, don't stop what you're doing. Okay. There's not like, it isn't as simple as just one blanket, this works for everything, right? So don't stop what you're doing just because, somebody else is telling you what to do. Don't take what he says. Don't take everything at face value, everything I'm telling you at face value. But just understand that this is him speaking, not me. He's saying, just understand that all I can tell you is what I know does work, right? So the challenging question is like, what I would challenge you with is, what do you consider to be working? Meaning, like, how is it working for you? Is it truly actually translating and working, or is it getting a little bit of interaction? Do you know for sure that you wouldn't get more interaction if you said, okay, I'm going to do that morning post, right? And I'm going to do the 10 and 10 rule in front of and behind it. And then I'm going to do one other post, right? And the other day and the rest of the day, and have it be about something else, right? And what if I did those 2 posts? Is it the specific topic that you're talking about in the morning? Could you, because technically all you're saying is you do one post in the morning that's getting a lot of traction, or that you're getting people to see, right? But the question you'd have to ask yourself is it exactly what I'm posting about that's getting that? Or is it time of day? Or is it the way I'm posting? Or, there could be a lot of different factors that are creating the interaction with that. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like the first question, is because if you're getting traction from that one particular post, is that what you're saying? You're like, I've got one post in the morning. Let me just make sure that I'm clear. You've got one post in the morning that people say they see a lot. Is that right?
Yes, that people are seeing and not necessarily commenting. Some of them get comments and likes, yes. But I know that in conversations that I'm having with people in messaging, they're seeing it and appreciating it, not necessarily interacting with that post, but it is sticking in their head and motivating them and getting my face and my name in their head.
So my question for you is it that you want to always have your morning post, and there's no right or wrong at all. This is just a lot of times what we're sharing a posting schedule, because a lot of people are like, I have no idea what to post. So this kind of gives people a guideline of what to do, kind of gives them an idea. So are you saying that, 6 or 7 days a week, you want to post every single morning about your workout because it's what you know, and you find that people find inspiration from you posting every single day about your workout versus posting about it like 3 times a week?
It's the whole consistency of it that I don't know, that I appreciate, and that I know people are seeing it every day, and it's, I don't know, I'm having a hard time just the thought of dropping it half of the week and just not doing it.
Right. So I'm trying to think. So they have workout posts, and then the other one is what is the other days that are recommended?
Are you asking me?
Yes, anybody.
So I'm actually pulling it up right now just so I can look at it, be positive. So
It's coaching, right?
Monday and Wednesday.
Monday, health and fitness.
And Saturday. So that's 3 health and fitness a week.
Okay. And what is Tuesday, Thursday?
Coaching, breadcrumb.
Engagement.
Okay, coaching, breadcrumb, and engagement. So see, one of the things is, like, I think we want to have the photo match the content, right? And it doesn't always have to. At the end of the day, what that photo or that video is doing is it's attracting, it's getting eyes, right? It's what stops people from scrolling. So you can still share your workout video or your workout sweaty selfie or whatever it is, and breadcrumb coaching into that day's post. So you can still be sharing your workout, but go, you know what? I have amazing accountability, from my accountability group, and just to think, like, 2 years ago, this is what coaching has done for me. And it's still showing, a coaching breadcrumb, or, how coaching has benefited you, but still shows that consistency of you working out. So I think we get so wrapped up in, like, oh, if I take a picture of my dog, I have to talk about my dog. If I do my workout, I have to talk about my workout. Sometimes I'll do my workout and talk about, about belief, which doesn't really talk about my workout per se, or, I'll post a picture about my dog being my workout, or my secretary or something stupid. I don't know. But I think that, but at the end of the day, Jen, it's truly a guideline. Like if you're getting interaction and, people are seeing it, you're getting eyes, because honestly, likes are just a popularity contest. You can get tons of likes, but it doesn't matter. We want the comments, if anything, but you can also still do what you're doing, but maybe at the end you ask a question. Or where are my AM workout warriors at? Post below. And then if they're like me, then you respond back to them within that 10-minute window, right? Like, you go girl, or what time do you get up? Or, oh my gosh, where are you located? Whatever. And so it starts that conversation, so you can still do what you're doing. And because I think that if that's working for you and people are loving it and you're loving the interaction, maybe just switch it up. You can still have the same post that you're doing, but just switch up the content, or ask a question to kind of increase that engagement.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yes, kind of. And
Kind
part
of.
of there may be a little bit of me that's thinking, if I'm not showing up, if I stop showing up with my workout every morning, are people going to think I'm not working out every morning?
Oh, you're going to still show up with your workout every morning. All we're saying is you still post your workout. You're just, you know what copy is? Copy is the words, what you write, the actual post, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're still showing up with your video of your workout. You're just maybe, and like, what would you normally, okay, so let's say you put a photo of you do a video or photo?
Monday is a video.
Okay.
The other days are a photo.
Okay, so Monday you do a video, and then what would you normally say in that video? Would you?
It's a live video. I do a never miss a Monday. I do like 90-second workout that I give them to do, that they can do once, twice.
Perfect. So you do a live video, and the difference is, in our minds, we're thinking, okay, this is a workout, so I have to be talking about workout. You can show them the workout and go, okay, this is in the group that we're running right now, in this, how much do I love that freaking coaching allows me to have such cool people that I get to hang out with. But check this out. In the group, what we're doing right now is this one move. So here's what you do. And you can talk about it in that framework while you're doing the workout. You don't have to not do what you're doing. It's a breadcrumb. You're just throwing in that, oh yeah, when I'm talking about, I could be making breakfast, right? And be like, you know what? And maybe it's I love, how awesome is it that I get to actually make this at friggin' 9 a.m. and I'm not at work because I get to work from home. But here, guys, this is what I'm making. You know what I mean? Like, and then walk them through I'm just throwing out there, just kind of sliding into the conversation that, it's one of the things I love about coaching. I don't know if you guys know, I do this coaching thing. I got this really amazing group. I love it because I get to be around some awesome ladies. And one of the moves that we're doing in our workout is here it is, guys, check it out. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is, right? Like, it's not to say that you don't do those posts. You're just modifying the copy, the actual verbiage, the wording to fit whatever framework you want it to fit in so that it makes more sense. The reason that posting schedule is there, and again, it's not like if you post three times a day, your Facebook's going to go like, shut her down, and she doesn't get anything, right? Like, it's not like that's going to happen. So don't stress about it too much. I'm just saying that there are ways that you can connect the two so you're not doing a bunch of separate ones, right? So kind of think outside the box on that and kind of see how that works together. But the reason that those particular posts are so important is because one of the hardest things to do, especially as a new coach, is I don't want to talk about coaching because it makes me nervous to talk about coaching. That's where most new coaches struggle, is talking about coaching, because for whatever reason, it's hard for us to recognize the value that it is, which is interesting to me, because I'm like, then why are we all coaches? Like, you signed up to be a coach, you saw some value in it. That's all that you're sharing with somebody, is that particular value, whatever you find at that point in your coaching career, that's what you're sharing. But I mean, if it's good enough for us, I think it should be good enough for everybody, right? Like, we should be in love with it. But it's really kind of scary to do that. So having those particular breadcrumbing posts, having those engagement posts to get people seeing those breadcrumb posts and those other posts, those kinds of posts, all that's for is so that you have an easy vessel so you don't have to overthink, who do I invite to coaching, right? Or who do I invite? I did a breadcrumbing post, everybody liked it. hey, you know what? I want to thank you for liking this, that post. I really appreciate the support. Please don't ever stop because I need all the support I can get. Have you ever been curious about doing what I do? Like stuff like that. It just gives us we don't have to think about it. It makes sense. They liked or commented on a post that we made about coaching. That doesn't seem weird to me, that, you know what I mean? That's the whole point of doing it. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like if you only post twice a day, you're going to be all of a sudden, Facebook God. And if you post 3 times, you're going to get shut down. But just kind of like think about what you're posting and recognize, like Deanna said, it doesn't have to be exactly what the photo shows. You can talk about challenge groups and when you're talking about a meal, right? You can talk, showing a photo of your lunch and you can be like, how much do I love the fact that this is one of the meals I get to eat with my, with the workout nutrition program I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? I got this rad meal from one of the girls in my accountability group right now. It's amazing, right? You're just dropping breadcrumbs that you're doing that stuff, but as opposed to like, hey guys, here's a healthy meal, try this. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's possible. I could be, I don't know, overthinking it.
Possibly.
Like we all do, right? Like we all do. Does anybody else have any questions? Amy, Francine? So
Jen, I just have to say I love you, and I give you a hard time because I love you. But yes, you are getting in your own head, and you just keep posting what you're posting the same exact way you're doing it. Maybe at the end, say, ask a question to maybe get more engagement. Maybe pop in one of the reasons you love being a coach in what you're already saying. Like make it a sentence blurb, a question at the end, whatever, and you got it. Simple.
And move on.
Jen had to change her diamond chart last night between the time we did it.
Saw that.
Yeah, because she added a coach. So
absolutely. So I'll let you guys go because I know this is long. So just to kind of recap real quickly, everybody should have their chart. Look at your chart. Just reverse engineer it. Recognize that every single one of those little circles, it's just a name of somebody you're helping, right? And when you talk to people about joining one of the challenge groups, just understand, all honesty, it is a better deal for that person if they are signed up as a discount coach versus a coach. That's what we did with everybody. And the reason we did it was because I felt better morally about it, because I know that at the end of the day, do I want them to pay more or pay less? That's the only difference, right? It's just a better deal for them. So for me, I feel like if I'm helping them out the best that I can, I'm getting them the same discount that I get, so they don't have to pay full price. That's how I look at it. But literally, that's all it is. You're just helping somebody with a challenge pack, plugging them in, and filling those holes. That's all there is. As far as I need to find an active coach, absolutely. Always look through your challenge group and invite everyone in the challenge group. If you're having a hard time kind of navigating that conversation, reach out and we'll go through the conversation on how you invite coaches to the coaching up, because more than likely I know that for me, I failed miserably I have so many people I'm actually writing down the names that I need to go back and go, you know what? It's one of the trainings in this Bob Heilig training. It's literally like, you know what? I failed. I miserably messed up when I talked to you last time about what I do. And now I know how to better describe it and I know how to, do it better. I would love to talk to you again. He's got a better format for it. But it's essentially that, because I failed so many times in the way that I approached that miserably. And I still do today. I fail on it numerous times. So reach out and we'll kind of help navigate you through that. But pick a program, commit to the program, share online, follow the as well as you can, Jen. Follow the posting schedule so that you're posting about stuff. Follow that daily activity schedule, and then recognize, go into the group. All of that stuff is there for a reason. In that file section, go into the group, look at the time slots. It shouldn't take you more time than is allotted in those slots. If it is, all honesty, you're just spending too much time on it. Like you're just taking too long to take too long. And I know I've done it. Everybody's done it. But just know, if it's taking you over 10 minutes to add 3 new friends, to literally go to your friend requests or new friends or people you may know, and add 3 people, you're spending too long. Like you're overthinking it. Add them and deal with it later. And then just invite people. Figure out how many people every day you can invite and feel comfortable being able to do every day consistently. Do that consistently. Don't do 5 today, 10 tomorrow, 0 for the next 7 days, right? Do 5 every single day, 10 every single day, whatever it is. But figure out how many you can do and invite and follow up with them and do all that good stuff. Track it, right? But keep it stupid simple and just recognize that Diamond is created by just helping 10 people and then helping one person create Emerald, which if you've helped the other 10 people, you've done 5 separate times. You've created your own Emerald 5 separate times. So you know how to do it. You're a pro at it. You just got to tell somebody else what you did, which is not overthinking it. Does that all make sense, guys? Okay. So any other questions, don't hesitate, reach out. You know where to find us. Otherwise, I know there's a really long call, guys, so I appreciate your time, especially for those that are a little bit later than us. So, and still managing not to fall asleep. So thank you guys very much. Like I said, questions. Otherwise, you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.